Welcome to the Central and Eastern European Rotax Max Championship Round 2 here from the Pannonia-ring in Hungary. We now have the grand final for the Rotax Mini-Max Championship. After a very dominant performance by Simon Urbaniak in the pre-final, he does start on pole position. So the Rotax Mini-Max Championship is for drivers between the ages of 9 and 12 years old. Slightly restricted karts, 13.5 horsepower, but as you'll see they are incredibly fast. We have a 9-kart grid here. As I say, pole position Simon Urbaniak, Pietro Wisnicki in second, Lucas Dunaire in third, Niktas Bekieris in fourth. And so that's your front two rows lining up there, as you can see, just getting a bit of a warmth in their tyres. Not that I expect they need to do too much in these conditions. Glorious sunny conditions here as they bring themselves round, ready to take that green flag, hopefully, if the starter's happy that they've lined up well enough. This is going to be a 12-lap race this time. And there we see on the inside of that corner is number 403, Simon Urbaniak, who got a fantastic victory in that first race. Is he going to be able to pull it off again? He's certainly got the whole shot a little bit again this time, but Pietro Wisnicki is not letting him go completely, although he needs to be aware of Lucas Dunaire right up behind him there. As they... Oh, and I thought we were going to get a challenge there for that second position. It's probably about a 3-car length that Simon Urbaniak's managed to pull last time. He was... Oh, and that suddenly disappeared. He obviously didn't get quite the run in that corner he was looking for, because he's now got... I'm trying to see the number just to make sure I'm being right. 488, Pietro Wisnicki is in that second position, and he's all over the back of Simon Urbaniak at the moment. So Simon Urbaniak did look like he'd made enough of a haul shot to pull away as he had done the first time. But it looked like maybe one of those corners he didn't quite nail it as he would like to, and suddenly that sort of probably about 3-car gap disappeared in an instant. He's just edged it out ever so slightly, but at the moment it appears to be these two that are getting away from each other. We saw Simon Urbaniak being incredibly wise in that first race, where he put in some quick laps at the beginning to build up that lead. Then in the middle of the race took it very slow, not steadily, sorry, I think is more appropriate word, because his times were white, so they were slower than his best. But then knew that the lead was comfortable enough and had some fun on the last 3 laps, 3 consecutive fastest laps of the race on the last 3 laps, as he comes through to complete his second of this 12-lap race. The gap is only 0.4 this time. Did manage to win by just over 3 seconds last time round, so is Pietro Wisnicki going to be able to stay with him? At the moment he is. He's doing a sterling job. Fastest lap of the race so far is by our leader Simon Urbaniak, but only 0.1 of a second faster than second place Pietro Wisnicki, so be interested to see what happens there. Third place Lucas Dunaire is probably about equidistant back again. And I think, yeah, they've managed to sort of leave 4th place, which is currently Balas Kumotsi is in that 4th position. One of a pair of twins that are here, Giorgio Kumotsi running in 8th, being his twin brother. Might only be 9 karts in this, but you'll see that they're not spread by an awful lot here. There's some great talent in this, and remember, as I say, these drivers are between the ages of 13 and 16 years of age, so they're still trying to make their way before they step up into one of the bigger classes, and of course those classes get grand finals, world finals, everything, and they need to win those championships to be able to get a ticket to even appear in those finals. But they've got to get their grounding in on these races, and we see some wonderful talent in this, the Mini-Max, the Micro-Max for the even younger drivers as well. It really is impressive to see, as well as obviously the Junior Rotax Max is a big step, the next age level up, and they do have a grand final, which happens to be in Valencia this year in November. The gap is now up to 0.8 after 4 laps of this 12-lap race. Absolutely beautiful circuit here in Hungary, Pannonia-ring. And I've said it a couple of times, but this is where Ducati test their superbikes, and Michael Schumacher did actually test one of the Ducati superbikes here. Not on this kart track, obviously, but this is within the larger Pannonia-ring. Keep fighting, Michael. We want to see you back at a circuit very soon. Simon Urbaniak is just stretching his legs now. You can see that gap's now gone up quite significantly, to be honest with you. Yeah, that is quite a significant increase, I would say. 0.8 it was last time round as he completed his 5th lap. 7 laps remaining, or 6.5 laps probably remaining now. This is the 2nd round. The 1st round was in Jesolo in Italy. From here next month we move on to Poznan in Poland. Oh, and we got a spinner there. Is that one of the twins? I think it is. 472, 422. Sorry, that's Balas Komotsi. So he was running, I think he was up in about 4th position. Yeah, he was in 4th position. He's just spun himself out of there to the back of this 9-kart grid. He's going to be frustrated there, but the age-old thing, you've got to try not to let the red mist settle in, because you'll just make more mistakes. It's very easy to do, whether it's on the brakes at the wrong place, the throttle too much. It's very dry circuit here. We've seen a few people that have just stepped up onto the grass, and they've kind of almost rutted into the dust a little bit. So it's got every circuit's got its own set of challenges. At Jesolo we saw some very big, monstrous curbs that they were bringing water to my eyes at the way they were bouncing off the curbs. We don't really have a lot of that here. A lot more width in this circuit, but it's a lot drier on the outskirts of this. So our leader comes through. Simon Urbaniak completes his 7th lap, new fastest lap of the race. Only 47 at the moment. We saw last time round fastest lap of the race, I think it was a 46.4, so it seems to be a bit slower, the track, maybe this time, and I have seen that in 1 or 2 of the other races as the day's gone on, that it's possibly a little bit slower, maybe a bit hotter, makes it a little bit harder on the tyres. These karts do have the Mojo D1 tyres. So even the tyres is like a next step up. Everything progresses. The tyres that they're using, the amount of horsepower that the engine's able to produce. As our leader comes through to complete 8th lap of this 12-lap race. 4 laps left to go. 46.9 fastest lap of the race. So he's got sub 47 now. The only driver to do so thus far. And that lead is now out to just under 1.5 seconds, 1.493. So it looked like Pietro Wisnicki was staying with Simon for a little while, but Simon's just said enough's enough, and he's off there. So he's had to change his tactic this race. As I say, we saw in the pre-final that he was able to get the fast laps in at the beginning and take it steady in the middle before having some fun at the end and putting in those fastest laps. But he's having to put these fastest laps in the middle of the race this time, because Pietro Wisnicki was putting him under a lot of pressure here. As we wait as they go for the 9th, that's just over 1.5 seconds now, so he's back down to the 47 flat, 47.000, but he couldn't do that again if he tries. Very impressive. And is he now able to know that he's got that 1.5 second lead, can just take it a little bit steady. He did win by just over 3 seconds in the pre-final. So it's half the gap that he had last time, but you can see how big it is. He's not under any undue pressure. He's still trying when he puts his head down, trying to reduce the drag as much as he possibly can. If we have a look, where's Balas Komotsi after that spin? Still down in 9th, and he's nearly 3 seconds behind the 8th place driver of Wojciech Kozabiorski. 10 laps completed, so just started his penultimate lap of this race now. Simon Urbaniak puts in a fastest lap of the race again, so he's back down to the 46.8. And with 2 more laps to go, are we going to see 2 more consecutive fastest laps? We'll have to see. He's got no need to. He's got that gap up to 1.827. And Pietro Wisnicki's not under any pressure from Lucas Dunair, another 2.25 seconds back. And then 4th place is Niktas Bekieris, who's about another 3.5 seconds behind him. No one should put right glue to the back. They're all at least a second between each other at the moment. So this race at the moment has settled down into a pattern as our leader now goes on to the final lap. My word, I stand corrected, 47.000. So that's twice. I said, could he do it again? Get it on the zeros, and he has. He's done it twice in this race. I stand completely corrected. Well done, Simon. That's very impressive. I like to do that with the fuel when I'm refilling my car, see if I can get it straight on the zeros. But I'm not very good at it. You've just done it twice. Your lap time's on the carts. So 11 laps down. 1.961 was the gap last time, so he is firmly in control. Is he going to put a fastest lap to complete this race? Coming through the last few corners. A nice snaky section to take them on to the checkered flag. And here he comes across the line. No, it is a 46, but not the fastest lap of the race. But Simon Urbaniak takes a fantastic victory after that 12-lap race. Second was Pietro Wisnicki again. And Lucas Dunaire finishing on the third step of the podium for the second race in a row. Both the pre-final and the final, as you were. Fourth, though, was Niktas Bekieres, moved up from 5th on the grid to finish 4th. Great progress by Nagy Sandor from 9th on the grid to finish 5th. Major Bonts in 6th. Giorgio Camozzi finishes 7th. Wojciech Kodzebiowski in 8th. And in 9th after his spin, very unfortunate, Balázs Komolci. Fantastic finish to the Rotax Minimax Championship here in Hungary at the Pannonia-ring. We now move on to Poland for the next round, and let's see whether Simon Urbaniak can continue with his domination.